Om. Om. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunatu Sah Viryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavaditamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. वक्रतुंड महाकाय सूर्यकोटि समप्रभा निर्विघ्नं कुरु मे देव सर्वकार्येषु सर्वदा. ओम श्री गणेशाय नमः. सरस्वती नमो नित्यं भद्रकाल्यै नमो नमः. वेद वेदांग वेदांत विद्यास्थानेभ्य एव च सरस्वती महाभागे विद्ये कमललोचने विद्यारूपे विशालाक्षी विद्यां देहि नमोऽस्तुते. यदक्षरं पदं भ्रष्टं मात्रहीनं च यद्भवेत् तत्सर्वं क्षम्यतां देवी प्रसीद परमेश्वरी. ओम श्री सरस्वत्यै नमः. अखण्डमण्डलाकारं व्याप्तं येन चराचरं तत्पदं दर्शितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. गुरुर्ब्रह्मा गुरुर्विष्णु गुरुर्देवो महेश्वरः गुरुरेव परं ब्रह्म तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Hari Om. People think that they only worry about that the other person has hurt me, he has said this bad and I felt bad. Do we ever consider that maybe the way I responded has also hurt somebody? So we have to be very careful. Like when we say Bhadram Karne Bhi Shrunu Yama Deva, let me, whatever I hear, let it be auspicious, let it be good. How do we like our day to be? And this is exactly what everybody wishes for himself. So let me not be the one causing someone abhadratha, matlab something inauspicious said or heard. So he is drawing our attention to these things. And how sharp and how aware is he that he can list down so many traits. If we just talk about conduct and look at the number of due to wrong knowledge, how many things that one person can do. So when we hear about these people, or when we see, most of us don't even want to acknowledge that something like this is there, but we must be aware of it. So constantly, how can we be aware? Only when we are grounded and anchored in right knowledge. So this is very important. So here he is talking about people with wrong knowledge. They have a certain way of understanding of the world, and which is wrong. I mean, he says it's kuvidya. It is not the right way of thinking and acting. So he says among such a person's habits, he can even commit murder. He can snatch things. He can rob people, dacoity, housebreaking, adultery, hypnotism, sorcery, impersonation, and deceiving. Now you will say, why we don't do all this? Why do we even think about? But these things happen in the world. People are calculating They are, see, why you should know this is so that you don't get fooled also by such people. It's not about whether, I mean, we obviously, we are walking the path, and now we want to evolve and come to greater understanding of who we are and about the world. Obviously, we will not be conducting ourselves this way, but then there are people who can do this and don't deny this knowledge. People say, I want to see only good, I don't want to see any bad. But yes, anybody who's with Kuvidya will be acting this way. So they think maybe they can get the better. And Bhagavan Sri Krishna also says, the one who is tamo guna predominant, then he behaves this way. And he does not hesitate or feel ashamed in doing savage things and often quarrels. He is intrepid, blockheaded, thoughtless, speaker of secrets of others. He is officious, preposterous, over dramatic, and has great lust. See, these are adjectives. I think that is the Marathi words that I was reading, which I couldn't understand, what I was reading. The 31st, 32nd verse, I was wondering whether even I'm pronouncing it correct, because it seems I have not heard those words. So all this is the English translation. So I can imagine, I have not read much Marathi literature. Maybe when speaking of villains, it should be all of these adjectives would have been used. Being blockheaded, thoughtless, preposterous. We know some people who can be like that. Over dramatic. So melodrama, anybody can create and is all the time trying to emotionally blackmail another. Understand Kuvidya, understand Tamoguna. And such people you will find in all good families also. Sometimes, we think that somebody is from a good family. What is a good family? Somebody who is positioned well, is economically well off, huh? And if they are educated. And unfortunately, education, at least these days, whatever education, it's very, very, it's for you to get a job and make money. More than that, culture and, a civilized code of conduct doesn't come with education these days. So we could be very, very misled. Huh? Do not think that a person who is highly educated should be of high emotional quotient and spiritual quotient too. That's a mistaken, it's a misconception. So here he could be from a very good family, but be this way. One can never expect good manners in him. He is greedy. Because of sins, such men are found to be blind, handicapped, deprived, huh, of arms, deaf, asthmatic, having cough, and very bad health. But even when they never repent or give up their sins, this is the after effects. But he says we must be. It seems like, what do you call it, discrimination, no, against people who are handicapped or blind or deprived of arms, in any way handicapped. Most of these people, not all of them, do not think, and this is not in any terms to discriminate these days, you have to be so politically correct. You don't know what word to use. Everyone feels very bad about everything. If one is bald, you can't call him bald. If one is dark skinned, you can't call them dark skinned. If so, we don't know what blind, handicapped, they might feel bad just being called that. But we must understand, in case they are this way found, we must be watchful for if they show such tendencies. Be watchful. He is not being discriminatory here in a way that he has no compassion for them, or he is not going to be kind towards them. This is not at all the intention. It should be rightly understood. We are talking about Kuvidya. So it may happen that such people come, that is their way of thinking, um, because they may lack maturity, they may not have knowledge, they may not have adhyatma vidya. So when you lack something, you begin to think that the world has been mean to you, God has been mean to you. Um, then you begin your life experience and perspective changes towards fitting that line of thinking. You see, that is Kovidya. So here, not all of them are like this, but he says because of sins committed, they are. Such persons are sometimes educated but evil, but mostly they are uneducated paupers. They have no support anywhere of good family or good friends. 500 years ago, education meant culture, civilized behavior, greater understanding of where one comes. I'm really telling you, 500 years ago, education was not the way it is today. So he is saying that they are mostly uneducated. Today, you find them among the most educated class also. They have no support anywhere of good family or good friends. They are drifters, luckless, beggars, very weak, malnourished, and shabby. They have neither strength nor any ability. Their face is also ugly, and they have no touch of higher thought because they have no good company of any saint or guru. So we find such persons ugly, virtueless, and sometimes very frail. See whom they have called ugly and virtueless, and those who have no good company of a saint or a guru, or they have no knowledge of Atman, of Ishvara. Such people seem ugly to Swami Samarth Ramdas. And the one who has this knowledge becomes very, very, they have a tej, they have, he is not speaking of the physical features at all of the person. The ugliness is not about the way the nose or the cheeks or the eyebrows or the forehead is. It is you carry an aura about you, where the depth of character, the virtue of someone being very mature and understanding and sensitive. He carries an aura around him. That is nice. That's very beautiful. He is very calm, contented. But one who is thoughtless, who is reckless, who, however beautiful they may be physically, with the perfect nose and the perfect smile and the most beautiful eyes, after their conduct reveals their character, nobody really likes them very much. It doesn't matter if they are physically very, very beautiful, isn't it? So this is where he says, if you do not have a touch of higher thought, then you look ugly according to him. It is but natural that they have no talent nor any art. They do not know good conduct, have no capacity for proper thinking, right action, and purity. And they are imprudent, and every now and then they doubt everything. This doubt in our mind, samshayatma vinashyati. Bhagavan says, do not. One should have faith in oneself. Very important. Forget about another person, an external person. I cannot trust that guru. I'm not completely convinced about God. Are you convinced about yourself and your feelings? This is exactly what I feel, and I accept myself as I am. It's very important. So if you have doubt, clear those doubts. Seek to get the right answers and seek to be guided properly and convince yourself. Every action of yours, like I keep saying, must be a conscious, deliberate action. Do not act mechanically, unconsciously, not knowing completely. I took this step because I thought, because I believed, because some people said so. Don't be vague about your thinking and your actions. It's your responsibility. So, Shraddhavan labate jnanam. So, have Shraddha in yourself. And if you are doubtful, and that can happen to anybody, please seek to clarify, get your answers, seek that answer, when that is your responsibility. Devotion, good sentiments, wisdom, readiness to give away things, peace and kindness are not found in their character. That's why they seem to be not good looking, they are ugly. Why? These things, qualities are missing in them. Good sentiments, wisdom, readiness to give away things, peace and kindness are not found. They also have no useful possessions and they are petty. Such a man does not know etiquette, has no sense of proper time, when and what to do or speak. He does not make any right study or effort. He does not pay attention cordially, does not know friendship, and is really an unfortunate, ignorant man. So, such a person we must keep away from. And if we find uh, any one or two something vaguely resembling in ourselves, in our nature, we must remove that from the system. Such a man is full of bad desires, a package full of vices and bad habits. And listeners must know these varieties of bad or wrong type of knowledge. All these signs of evil and bad knowledge are given here in detail so that they should be given up. Surely it is of no use to be arrogant, imprudent, and a wrongdoer. He must have so much love and compassion for people who are seeking the truth that he has listed down these many traits. No? And he says, be watchful about them. Thus, in the second Dashaka of Dasbodh, in the dialogue between the Guru and the disciple, this third chapter by name, Signs of Wrong Knowledge, is completed here. So, desires, as is said, bad desires. What are good desires? You know, they say we must be desireless, we must not have any desire. Here, we must understand, and that our desire to evolve, that one desire we must have, our desire to know more about who we are, this intensity with which we seek, this should be really strong. It should be an intense desire. One should be a tivra mumukshu itself is ichha for what? Moksha. That should be like you're holding a log of, if you are in the funeral pyre, what they do is all that logs of wood are placed on the body, and you're cremating, you're burning them. So what do? You hold a log of wood which is burning. You take that log of wood, go around, burn all the logs of wood, and then you throw this piece of wood also into the fire for it to burn. So it is said that this single piece of wood which is burning is your intense desire for moksha that you keep alive, with which you burn all the other desires. And when you come to a state where more or less nothing, no rasa in anything of the world is remaining anymore, and only this is there, it helps you purify your mind. And you have a guru now who is you have surrendered to. This log of wood also you must put in the fire and burn it. That the guru will tell you at the right time. Till that time, one must hold on to that. Okay, so people usually tell me that why should I desire this also when all desires have to be given up? You know, you cannot otherwise purify yourself, and without that purification, antakarana shuddhi, this Atman is just hidden. It is already who we are. It is not to be got from obtained from outside somewhere. It is who we are, but if we are not able to see it and experience it right now because it is hidden, and this till the time the mirror is not cleaned completely, it will remain hidden. So it's like a cloud which needs to just go away. And the Atman is there, it will shine on its own. So with that, we end the third topic, the second chapter. Now we will go on to the fourth topic, chapter 4, the second Dashaka, discourse on devotion. So this is Bhakti Nirupana, Sri Ram, discourse on devotion. नाना सुकृताचे फळ तो हा नरदेह केवळ त्याही मध्ये भाग्य सफळ तरीच सन्मार्ग लागे नरदेही विशेष ब्राह्मण त्याही वरी संध्या स्नान सद्वासना भगवत जन घडे पूर्व पुण्य भगवत भक्ती हे उत्तम त्याही वरी सत्समागम काळ सार्थक हाची परम लाभ जाणावा प्रेम प्रीतीचा सद्भाव आणि भक्तांचा समुधाव हरिकथा महोत्सव तेणे प्रेमा दुणावी नरदेही आलिया एक काही करावे सार्थक जेणे पाविजे परलोक परम दुर्लभ जो विधियुक्त ब्रह्मकर्म अथवा दया दान धर्म अथवा करणे सुगम भजन भगवंताचे अनुतापे करावा त्याग अथवा करणे भक्ती योग नाही तरी धरणे संग साधू जनाचा नाना नाना शस्त्रे गांडोळ धांडोळावी अथवा तीर्थे तरी करावी अथवा पुरश्चरणे भरवी पाप क्षया कारणे अथवा कीजे परोपकार अथवा ज्ञानाचा विचार निरूपणी सारासार विवेक करणे पाळावी वेदांची आज्ञा कर्मकांड उपासना जेणे होईजे ज्ञान अधिकार पात्र. We will just read this. It says adhikar patra matlab who is qualified. One has to qualify for this Atma Jnana also, the Adhikari. Who is the Adhikari? Let us see. The first verse, he says, this human body is a fruit of many meritorious acts in the earlier lives. And if there is a really good fortune, you can tread the path of riches. That is why we say it is such a privilege if we have started on the path of spirituality. It is a real, understand there are so many souls in this world, jivas, and they have not yet started working on this. You may think everybody is doing, at least that's what I thought. I thought everybody is seeking that only and everybody is asking for that only. So whomever I would speak and they will say they were not even concerned. They say, yeah, that's your lifestyle. I say, lifestyle? What is this? But I realized later that no, desires are thousands in the world and ways also are very, very different. You know, as, I think, I don't know, it was Sahir Dhyan says, अभी ये जो हम कठपुतली हैं, ऐसे खिलाड़ी के जिसको ये खेल सदियों तक रचाना है. So he is like saying, so creation कैसे होगा? Everybody is after enlightenment and gets enlightened. There can be no more creation. Creation happens in ignorance, isn't it? So it cannot be washed away or wiped away or even wished away. It has to be there because वो जो खिलाड़ी main person है उसको रचाना है अभी और सदियों के लिए. But the beauty is if we have come to recognize this and live our life this way, then there is such beauty and the perspective with which we see the world. It is said that it is only this jnani who yasya brahmani ramate chittam nandati nandati nandatyeva. He is the one who is truly enjoying. He is so full of bliss and he is enjoying life. He is like every moment he is alive and so happy. Yeah. So this experience. This is every human potential. Every human can attain it. And this is the culmination of the human birth. So he says, even getting this human birth is so rare. And it can happen only because of meritorious activities. So he says, it is like Nanak says, this, you know, ये शरीर मनुष्य जन्म is so anmol. Birta kahe gavayo, do not waste, you know. So here he says, to be, and here also, to be born, to be on the path of righteousness, to seek these answers. Who am I? Who is God? What is this world about? Is a privilege. Also, to be born as a Brahmin is further good fortune, and to perform regular religious daily prayers, to have good desire, to have devotion to God are the result of past merits. Now, here, to be born as a Brahmin. Huh? Who is this Brahmin? One who seeks to be one with Brahman, not this caste Brahmin. There is a big, long controversy over this. Because all Brahmins think that they have attained this privilege just be born in that Brahmin family. It cannot be so, because in the Brahmin family today also we do see, isn't it, that Brahmin may be by caste performing a puja in the temple, but if his whole vasana, his thinking, uh, his inclination is towards which rich man is coming into the temple, that this person has come, now I will do a special arti for his sake, so that dakshina mujhe mile. That is a typical Vaishya guna. So he may be a Brahmin by birth, but so this being a Brahmin is one who is taken up the acharanam of one seeking to become one with Brahman. When such a person, in the Purusha Suktam, it is very clearly said that this person then becomes a spokesperson. He is the mouth of God, the one who attains the state. Right? So he is a Brahmin. So to be that, it is further good fortune. And to perform religious daily prayers, to have good desire, to have devotion to God are the results of past merits. Bhagavan Krishna also says Arjuna is a little worried because he is in the battlefield and he wants to attain Jnana, Atma Jnana. He says, what happens? I might die now, and next Janam, what will happen? All this knowledge that you are giving me. So he says, no, what you have got now will never leave you. So if you are to die, you will find, you will be born in such a place which will be conducive for you to complete this. You will begin where you have left. It is not like secular knowledge, you know. I remember my past life. My past life regressionist has also told me that I was a doctor in my last life. I don't need to do MBBS this year, this lifetime. Please allow me to practice medicine. ये तो बिल्कुल नहीं होगा. कोई बोलेगा अरे नहीं तुमको मेडिसिन प्रैक्टिस करने देते पहले एडमिट कर लेते हैं. You know, you need admission as a patient first. So ये नहीं, but then it is not so with spiritual knowledge. Atma Gyan, matlab ye jo truth that you have understood, this impression that has come into, and this ignorance has left you. The moment you have understood this truth, that ignorance has left you. If it has left you, it can never come back. Ignorance is of that kind. It was always there. When you start, if I ask you, do you know to swim? And you say, I don't know. Will I ever ask, from when do you not know to swim? And I've never known. I don't know means it's anadi. Ignorance is always there. But can that be put to an end? Yes, of course. I will start taking classes in swimming. I'll start swimming. Once I have started swimming, ignorance of swimming has gone away. That knowledge has come. Now I cannot say. I might say I don't swim, but I know to swim. That ignorance has gone. So you see, ignorance will leave you once. And knowledge, once you have it, will not leave you. So therefore, an Atmagyan is such that even if you have started on the path, the next birth, he says, you may be born in a poor house or rich house, doesn't matter, but it will be in a house of yogis, it will be in a place where it is conducive for your spiritual growth. So you make, that is why many students come, when they come and they start listening, they say, Guruji, is it okay, Acharya? Is it okay? I'm not, I don't do any puja. I have not studied anything. You think I'll understand? Yeah, absolutely. And when I said, you understand English. That's all that is required. Let's speak and let's, discuss. And when they start, they say, yes, all this I understand very clearly. Then what was it, So it is that because they already have the Purva Janma Samskara. That is why. So you never know who has already got it. He just requires some dusting and he will say, "Bhai, lagta hai." And then they might even say that all of this we know. We just have to be reminded. That's why we say spiritual teachers can never teach you anything. They can only remind you of who you are. If you scratch a little your own, you will be able to see things. You know it for that. Not that you don't know it, you have forgotten. Hmm. So these are all the results of our past merits. If we have conducted ourselves, we have sought this knowledge previously, it's never going to leave us. As a matter of fact, devotion to God is the best thing. But much more important than that is the company of saints. And we should consider it as the best utilization of our lifetime and a great benefit. I've seen some, when I was in Coimbatore, some Tamilians, they have this great fascination for saints. They will go after all the siddhas. You tell them that there is a siddhar living here, they will come to do, we want darshanam, we want. They ask all sorts of questions. They are so keen and interested to meet saints. So that's nice to see. This keenness must be there, and it's there among Indians a lot because this culture is such. So he says more than devotion to God, though that is very good. Important is company of saints because saints are living gods, isn't it? They are in flesh and blood, and they have attained to that state. So that's a great benefit. Primarily, there should be love and goodwill. Further, there should be a gathering of many devotees, and above all, there should be a program of stories of God told in good ceremonies. Then only the love for God increases. This is how devotion must be cultivated. One must have an ear, to listen to the stories, the tales of God, to speak about saints, listen to their stories. One must begin to relish in them. Uh, this is something that we need to develop. It is a taste that we need to cultivate. If we say, how do I cultivate devotion? Some people say, I don't seem to have devotion. Nobody is without devotion. The way it is required, we have not cultivated. Because we all love, isn't it? If love is there in the heart, devotion can easily be. It's not difficult at all. But it needs to be cultivated, nurtured. If we are, when we like to do something, we are very interested in it and we will do it tirelessly without complaining, isn't it? So to develop this devotion and love for God is very important. And as he says, satsang, we must have satsang, we must do bhajan kirtan. Having been born as a human being, we should take this opportunity and then we will reach the higher heavens, which is a very rare benefit. When we have anchored this way, when we have connected this way, hotline connection मैं बोलती हूँ, सबका अपना अपना है. You can connect directly. You don't need another. You don't need to go through another person. The guru or deity in the temple. These are all outside. You need these props until the time you do not connect directly. And God in the temple or the guru, external guru, has to guide you to connect to your own divinity, the divine being within you. That is what is to be done, and that is how we need to look at the guru. When we meet a guru, yes, first of all, what happens? See, people say, How do I know whether it's the right guru or wrong guru? Actually, you only will know. Who else will know? When you listen to the guru and you say, huh, I think I confirm, I'm happy with what I'm listening. So who is saying okay to that? You yourself only are saying. So you should know. Trust that voice within you. If you do not like what you're hearing, you do not believe in what that guru, just say Tata Baba Namaste Guru and leave. You don't need to criticize, you don't need to bother. You need to know that that's not my guru, that's not the path that I need to take. So you go search, find, seek, and keep doing this. And even when you meet a guru and when you're very happy, oh, it's wonderful, finally I have some direction and a guide. Don't get now involved with the personality of that guide and guru. Don't get involved with how that personality is conducting himself, because I've seen this happening in many places, monasteries, ashrams. No? Then there is trust, then there is distrust. Why did the guru say this? I didn't like that. I'm not happy with this guru. Is this the right guru? Again, distrust comes. So actually, this play goes on. Sometimes even the guru does this just to test faith. They say even God does this to you purposely, just to see how far, you know, because this knowledge is so subtle, it requires that complete faith and surrender at the hands of, at the feet of the guru. So here, it this trust, distrust, let it go on until you have not completely convinced yourself. You must be convinced, and then only can you surrender, and then only attunement comes, alignment comes with the guru. And once this attunement has happened, the guru will take you to the distance in the right direction. So you watch for that and you take care of your own journey. That's your responsibility. So we should, as he says, we have to reach higher heavens, which is a very rare benefit. We have to take this opportunity. We should perform religious rituals towards realization of Brahma, or we should be having compassion and give in charity, or the alternate easy way is to perform devotional activities towards God. Whichever, at whatever we are inclined to, one thing, whatever we are able to do, like Ramana Maharshi says in Upadesha Saram, there is a krama, and we have to know where we stand. I have to travel from Mumbai to Delhi. So it's up to me now to decide, depending on the urgency, depending on the money I have, what are my means. Do I take a train? Do I take a flight? Or do I drive a car and reach? Right? And then I go find out from the travel guide and decide which is the best for me, and I have to start doing. But I can only start from Mumbai because I'm in Mumbai. Somebody says, the route from Jaipur to Delhi is beautiful. You should be there. You can't be there. You can't be doing that. And there is no point comparing. How does he say his spiritual journey from Jaipur to Delhi is so beautiful? And where am I? I'm in Mumbai, are so far away. This path is not for me. Don't do this. Don't compare. Wherever you are, you begin. So perform religious rituals towards realization of Brahman. So if there is a person who is seeking this truth, even if he is doing any puja, or he is doing any karma anymore, if it is towards realization of Brahman, that will slowly with understanding drop. Like there was a disciple, Murugannar, who was with Ramana Maharshi, very evolved soul. So when he came to Ramana Maharshi, he found such a silence and the profound peace that he felt. He stayed with him. He felt that now maybe he may even leave his family, and is that okay? I just want to be in the ashram, I don't want to go away. So Slowly he moved away from his family, and it came true. It became like that. He was very happy with that. So he spoke to the family. He left the family. He was here only with Ramana. But then a day came when it was to be his mother's shraddh, and some sentiment somewhere, some vasana somewhere remains with us. It is not very easily that it all gets wiped out. So that time again, Duvidha came. Should I go back for that shraddh and do whatever said, and then my mother's shraddh has to be performed? What do I do? And he was again in Duvidha. So Bhagwan just smiled at him and he says, Acha, so Shraddh is coming up. That's all he commented. Next day, uh, some understanding came to him and he says, I don't feel like going. I feel he really had left that. So Ramana just smiled. He said, then stay back. So see, it has to come from within. It cannot be thrust on anybody. Because he was all ready to send him off in case he wanted to go. He didn't feel like going, and slowly सब कुछ छूट जाता है. वो छोड़ना नहीं पड़ता, अपने आप छूटना है वो. That is sannyasa. So therefore there is no really anybody taking and receiving sannyasa or anything. That is just the understanding. You wear a uniform, so a certain discipline comes to you. But true sannyasa is something that is inner. It is not. It has nothing to do with the outer veshabhusha. It is, oh, do you eat this? Can you speak this? Can you do this? All that is external. Does any of that own you no longer? Then you are a sannyasi already. So this way, but not everybody is there. We have to work ourselves. So it is okay. That's not that. That is that person. He has already done his karmas, but I have. So if I have and I am not there, what do? I should have enough compassion. This is the Madhav Seva is what? Manav Seva. Work your way towards that. Do charity. Show compassion to fellow beings and devotional activities towards God. Why are we performing all this? Bhakti, karma yoga, all of that is towards realization of Brahman. For antakarana shuddhi, realizing the oneness and letting go. The ego holds on to very good many things, So to be able to let go of even that, very, very Sarvadharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja, Bhagavan Krishna says. But सर्वधर्मान परित्याज्य वो तो नहीं होता है, सब कुछ तो नहीं हो सकता है, एक एक करके छोड़ना होता है ना. If somebody is ready, then fantastic, just do it. And he says mameka, only me, for my sake, sharanam vraja, you have to come. Then you will find me, I'm not no more different than you. Then realization happens that way. So until then, let us perform our duties, let us worship gods, let us do karma yoga, whatever kartavya palan, towards purification of antakarana to realize Brahman, not for anything else. Not doing charity so that I get a very big name as a philanthropist or whatever to add in my resume, not for any publicity, not for any political gain, nor for any fame, reputation. We must watch ourselves very carefully. Because all of this can take us again. I am the greatest devotee of this Lord. And that gives me so much pride and arrogance. So watch, if you are this way, then you're still very much in the world. It will not lead you towards Brahman realization. Then he says, we should have repentance and renounce our possessions. If it is not possible, we should follow the path of devotion ourselves, or the best way is to always be in the company of sages. Repentance, renouncing possessions, as much as we have with us, if we realize that most things that we have now is not needed. Why is it not needed? Like I heard there was one Kathakar who was talking about Sant Tukaram. he said, and you know Swami Samarth Ramdas, if you take Santa Tukaram, you take Santa Jnaneshwar, you will find that all these saints say, take care of the world in such a way that minimal requirement is there. You have to take care of this body, right? So that is allowed, that you have security. You must conduct yourself in this world in a way. Vyavahar is very much needed. You cannot say, I am renouncing all this and I'm going. It is not possible for everybody to do that, to go into the cave and just withdraw from the whole world. So you must be very careful about vyavahara, your interaction with people, and if you can live with very minimal things. According to that Kathakari was telling, you get ready to retire fast if you can. Many people take VRS, no? That is, they retire before their time, and if they have secured themselves a future and they say, okay, I can manage. If you can do that, so that you are not begging, you are not dependent on anybody for your roti kapda, do that, and then begin on this path of spirituality. You know, do not wait. That is vanaprastha. We begin that way. So he says, do and then completely give yourself to surrender. And it cannot happen when the body is no longer capable of doing, isn't it? Most people think, यार ये सब तो बुढ़ापे में है, that is sahara of my बुढ़ापा. You won't be able to sit and listen to that katha. The mind cannot focus because it is, the back is aching, the feet are numb. I have diabetes. I have to go home and eat my tablet and take some food. I can't sit for more than 2 hours. So, ऐसे में how can you give surrender and how can you meditate and how can you realize that? The body has to be healthy, and when it is in very good shape, secure yourself the minimal that you require and seek God. This is their, their prescription. So renouncing all our possessions, meaning inwardly let no possession hold you. Then you're free. You're already detached. And if you have a sofa at home and you're sitting on it, it's okay. But that sofa is my all, and I have such sentiments attached to it. You know, I bought it 30 years ago, and these people have lived and sat on it, and you know, then to fir bhai, Brahman is very far away from us. So if it is not possible, we should follow devotion, bhakti, and always keep company of sages. Because sages will keep on telling you this song. And आज ना कल तो जाते हैं सत्संग में तो यही सुनना पड़ता है. Every saint is telling you the same thing. So what is so different? They would ask me, course में, which text are we doing? Is there going to be, because finally every text is talking about Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi. That is the topic. Huh? The approach might be different. So there is going to be nothing different. We are not going to change the topic. It's going to be the same thing. So the approach will be. So all the saints will try different approaches only. The same thing they will come to tell you. So in order to wipe out our sins, we should undertake repetition of mantras or go through and learn various sciences to search the truth, or at least go to the sacred places of pilgrimage. Begin this mantra jap, the right way to chant the mantras. Just today I have posted the group for how the mantra should be, and with awareness when you chant what happens, and then group chanting ka kya fayda hota hai. So when you do this, and when you learn the various sides, you at least explore, begin that, what are the different paths, what are the different gurus saying, which I would like to explore, experiment. Don't feel shy about doing something. Ki, bhai, you went, you tried this, hua nahi hua, you liked it, you didn't like it, just get a gist of it, because then only you will understand how all these rivers lead to the same ocean. And tirtha, going to places of pilgrimage. This is very beautiful, because you are constantly kept in that kind of association with the truth, you are reminded. It helps you in detaching from worldly matters time to time, doing these things. On the other ways is to be busy with charitable works, helping others, or follow the path of knowledge to find out what is essential and what is not essential, and have a discussion with others. Hmm? Be busy with charitable works. So, whenever you meet anyone, like I say, in your mind, ask them, how are you to help them? You don't have to ask them, because there are many things you may or may not be able to do. And once they start demanding, you're going to feel guilty about, I couldn't do this. That's not. If that person has come, huh, you can help them. You decide in which way you can help them. And then you have decided this way I can help, you can offer that. But always see, how can I contribute? How can I help? If this be your way, you will start purifying. Let it not be, isme mere liye kya hai? That should not come. यहाँ पे, what best can I offer? This is the situation, what best can I offer? This is the condition, what can I do? This will only help us. This purification is for ourselves. It is not actually to help the other. So don't bother about the world. Your relationship with the world requires this. Therefore, you're doing it. And helping others and follow the path of knowledge to find out what is essential, what is not essential. What is essential? What is this vastu? I need to get to know this real thing. So what is asat and what is sat? What is permanent? What is impermanent? We keep doing and focusing on a lot of inconsequential matters when it comes to spirituality. आप कितने घंटे बैठ के जपा करते हो, कितने घंटे मेडिटेशन करते हो, घंटा, that thing is not at all important. It is not number of hours, is the quality. And you don't need to ask anybody. If you have gone into meditation, you have arrived at that silence and peace for yourself. You know it. Why compare it with anyone? Don't bother. You have reached that depth. The next day, the next time when you're sitting in meditation, all you need to do is go deeper than what you had. That's all. Try and, constantly watch yourself and improve upon yourself. Then he says, what is not essential, and have a discussion with others, discussion with like-minded people. क्या होता है when we start studying Vedanta, all this? Usually you have heard some lectures, you want to go and tell this family member requires it, and you want to tell them how they should be, how they should not be. You are not this body, don't worry about your body so much. नहीं, don't do it. Like-minded people के साथ पहले discuss करना. Be very, very sure of what you're saying. Understand the concept completely. Then you can even go and speak to people who have not an inclination at all. Otherwise, first, mananam should be done. Group discussion should be had. Shravanam is when you have information, you have knowledge. But mananam is when you start contemplating, reflecting, doubts come up. But I heard this and I thought it was right, but I am not able to understand this now. Okay, so there is a doubt. You will get clarity with discussing with like-minded people. And for this, we should study what is the teaching of the Vedas, and their dictates should be followed in respect of performance of various ways of worship or religious practices, by which we will become eligible for real wisdom. This is the Adhikari, is in the 10th verse. We should study the teachings. Vedo nityam adhiyatam taduditam karmasvanushthiyatam. That is, learn the Vedas, daily read the Vedas, and act according. That practice is important. Merely intellectually knowing it is one thing. That is just information gathered. So one can be knowledgeable. But if you are putting it into practice and living it, only then one can say that I truly know. No, because you're living what you, then it becomes true to you. And that will make you an adhikari. You know why you're doing whatever it is that you're doing. That is very important. And these are the qualifications. When we study Vedanta, we first do what is the adhikari, the qualification. Every course, every study, we say no, 10th में इतना percentage marks, 12th में ऐसा होना चाहिए. This should have been your subjects if you're taking up a professional course. So like that in the spiritual matters, these are your qualifications, not your degree and all that, but how much of the Vedas have you studied, how much have you put into practice, and clarity, purity of mind is what dictates here, nothing else. So this is very important. Uh, we will read more about this devotion, right? Knowledge and devotion. See, all this he is talking, and slowly, of course, he is going to talk to us about the gunas, why wrong knowledge, why that traits of laziness, insolence, all of that he spoke of, that is the tamasic guna basically. When we are following this path and rightly devoted, he will speak of sattva preponderance, and then rajasic preponderance. These are there. So this more clarity will come to us when we read the remaining verses after this chapter. I mean, after this topic of devotion also. So hope you are enjoying all of this. We shall conclude with this one verse, today, and meet next time and continue. We should be by our body, speech, and mind worship God. Yes. Shall we conclude for today? Any questions, anybody? No questions. अभी questions क्या होगा इसमें? अभी इतना clearly बोला ये नहीं करना है, ये करना है, बस हो गया. पूछ भी नहीं सकते क्यों नहीं, क्या नहीं, बस नहीं करना है. एंड ये सब चीज करना है, करते जाओ पता लगेगा. If you have any doubt, just do it, Nancy. Nothing will happen. You won't die or anything. Honesty, and one must be honest and courage. You should have the courage. It requires courage, to admit certain wrongdoings to ourselves also sometimes. No? That is when the ego gets hurt. Why? I could have also made a mistake. I've done this. Oh, yes, we must be able to admit to ourselves. That is why Swami Dayanand would say, Jnana Marga requires honesty and courage. So we shall conclude this session now today. Namadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Shanti.